My hands worked with precision, shaping the steel, heating it just right, watching as the blade took form. Knife making had always been more than just my profession. It was my craft, my legacy, my escape. The forge hissed, sending up a shower of sparks as I hammered the glowing metal. I was in control here. Every motion had a purpose, every cut deliberate. Unlike my marriage. Unlike the lie I was living. It all started when Molly took the kids to her parents' place for the holidays. We had planned it for weeks. She would drive them up to Oregon, stay for a few days, then come back. I would join them after finishing a big order for a client. She left on a Tuesday morning, kissing me quickly before heading out, promising she'd call when she got there. I barely heard from her that night. The next morning, I got a text. Molly, car broke down last night. Got it sorted. Kids are fine. Be home tomorrow. Love you. I frowned. Molly wasn't careless with her car. And if she got stranded, why didn't she call me? Something felt off. But I let it go. I shouldn't have. She came home the next day acting normal. Too normal. She hugged me, kissed my cheek, told me she missed me. But when she rolled up her sleeves as we sat at dinner, I saw it, a faint red mark on her wrist. Like someone had grabbed her too hard. Or held her down. I stared at it, my stomach twisting. What happened to your wrist? Molly glanced down quickly, too quickly, before pulling her sleeve back down. Oh. The car trouble, I guess. Must have scraped it. She forced a laugh, then changed the subject. But I wasn't listening anymore. My mind was already racing. And suddenly, I needed to know everything. I waited until she fell asleep before I checked her phone. She never locked it around me. Maybe she still believed I was the fool I had been before. I went through her texts first. Nothing. Then her calls. And that's when I saw it. A late-night call, one she had deleted from her messages but forgot to remove from the logs. It was from my brother, Ryan. The call had lasted 47 minutes. And it happened the same night she claimed her car had broken down. I sat there, staring at the screen, my heart pounding so hard it felt like it was echoing through the room. Ryan. My own brother. The next morning, I played along. I smiled at Molly, kissed her before she left for work. But as soon as she was gone, I called Ryan. It rang twice before he picked up. Hey, man, he said casually. I gripped my coffee mug, knuckles turning white. Heard you helped Molly out the other night, I said, keeping my voice even. Ryan paused. A half-second too long. Yeah, she called me late. Car trouble. Why didn't she call me? Another pause. I guess she didn't want to bother you. I clenched my jaw. And after that? Ryan sighed. What's this about? Look. I'm just asking, I said, my voice cold now. You helped her with the car. She stayed over. Then what? Ryan exhaled slowly. Nothing, man. We had a couple of drinks. Talked. That's it. Another lie. The kind of lie you tell when you don't think the other person already knows. I hung up. And I sat there, boiling in my own rage. Because now, I had my answer. I started watching Molly. Really watching. She was nervous around me now. Always checking her phone when she thought I wasn't looking. She avoided touching me too much. She took longer showers, like she was trying to wash something off. Every small detail screamed the truth. She had slept with my own brother. And I was going to make them pay for it. I spent the next week planning my revenge. Not just anger. Not just violence. Something deeper. Something they would never forget. I started by planting seeds of doubt. I took Molly's phone while she was sleeping and sent a single text to Ryan. We need to talk. Luke is acting weird. I think he knows. Then, I deleted it. The next day, Ryan showed up at our house, acting jittery as hell. I let them stew in their own guilt. Then, I made my real move. I invited Ryan over for drinks that weekend. Like old times, I told him. I watched his hesitation, but he agreed. Molly pretended like everything was fine, but her eyes kept darting between us, like she was waiting for an explosion. She didn't have to wait long. When Ryan got up to grab another beer, I grabbed his wrist. Right over the spot where Molly had the same mark. He froze. I leaned in. Must have been a wild night, I said quietly. His face drained of color. Molly stiffened across the table. I sat back, sipping my drink, watching them both fall apart. I had recorded everything. Molly's texts. Ryan's panicked calls to her after I planted the message. Even his drunk confession on my security cameras when I left them alone on the patio. Then, I sent it. To everyone. Molly's parents. Ryan's girlfriend. Our closest friends. Every single person who thought they knew us. And then, I sat back and watched. Molly came running home that night, tears streaming down her face. Luke, please, we can talk about this. I laughed. She stared at me like she didn't recognize the man in front of her. You burned our marriage to the ground, I told her. I just made sure you had to live in the ashes. Her face crumpled. I stood up, grabbed my keys. I already talked to a lawyer, I said as I walked out the door. You'll be getting divorce papers in the morning. She collapsed onto the couch, sobbing. And I didn't feel a damn thing. Because she deserved every second of this. Molly lost everything. Our house? Gone. Her reputation? Destroyed. Ryan's girlfriend dumped him. Our family cut him off. The last time I saw either of them, they were shattered, ghosts of the people they used to be. And me? I kept working, kept making knives. Because if I learned anything from this, it was this. Some things need to be cut out of your life before they kill you. Thank you for listening to the story to the end. Please like, share your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel.